Oh Lord, it's a bad day for those rainbow flag enthusiasts. Check this out yesterday. In the Oklahoma State Legislature, there was a big insurrection. I think that's what we call just a bunch of people who are uninvited, who are just come in and storm a governmental building. Is that what we're still calling it? No, oh no, it's fine when the left does it. Right. I need to get that straight, of course. A mob of trans activists took over Oklahoma Capitol building to try and stop the state's Republican lawmakers from passing a bill that would outlaw the transitioning of minors and require teachers to inform parents if students identify as trans. And as you can see, I don't think we need to have any audio or anything like that because mostly hearing these people is just kind of cancer. But what are you gonna? You're embarrassed. Oh my God, it's embarrassing me right here. It's just like them to their parents. They're just naturally embarrassing people. And I couldn't even get the video to play, but now I can right there. So what are the signs that they're holding? Because that's kind of what I'm more interested in than anything else, given the fact that we know what the law that they're going to try to pass is. And we'll get a little bit more introspection in that. I got an article and stuff pulled up for that. But as you can see, these level-headed individuals with a witch hat and, I don't know, the pink and the blue little cummerbund. I don't get it up there in the balcony. And why is there so many of them? Trans rights are basic rights. Okay, so what the bill is apparently supposed to address is transitioning of minors and teachers informing their students if they've been sufficiently indoctrinated to a point where they just don't understand exactly what they have inside their drawers makes them what sex they are. Very interesting, so it's just always funny to see the same slogans repeated over and over and over again because the NPCs are on the right side of history, right? Anyways, moving along, yeah, so it's not a small contingent. Well, it's actually, yeah, it's quite substantial given the fact that it's Oklahoma after all. Like, this is Oklahoma. This isn't New York or anything like that. Well, if it was New York, there'd probably be spray cans all over the sides and there'd be a lot more destruction. This seems at least relatively civil, but it's one of those videos where you look at it and you can just smell it. Nothing organic about that at all, except for, well, the deodorant that's probably not really being used all that much. But it gets even worse than that, and we can see more of the signs up front. Stop healthcare bans on trans. There's nothing there. This is about protecting children, but there's a lot of people who will never be in the position to ever procreate. We are not a threat, so stop making us a target. Yeah, but it's really not, though. I don't... Okay, well, whatever. Yo. The more I see videos of people with just really detestable beliefs and values, the more I'm starting to believe in physiognomy. Just by looking at somebody that you can kind of presuppose a bunch of their beliefs and positions in life, you can just really tell these people that are just all slumped over, you know, bloated face from just really poor eating habits. The easier you can tell, you don't even have to go as far as seeing, you know, dyed hair, and that's regardless of whatever political affiliation that they want to pull. That's just always a big old red flag. But these do look like the people that would be turning up to this stuff. But I would also like to know, like outside of the chanting, let's see if we can make any of this out actually. I'll go ahead and I'll break my rule on this one. We'll see what they're yelling.
We are Oklahoma! We are Oklahoma!
Oh, cool. That doesn't sound like the mob or anything like that. That's a wonderful, fantastic little thing that you guys are doing there. Protect trans rights. Just save trans lives. Nobody's dying in this. This isn't a genocide that you'd so totally want. But look at how well... Jesus fucking Christ. Do you think that guy's going to be out there, you know, stumping for trans rights? Lord have mercy. That's a big boy right there. But I can imagine that guy's probably one of the government officials. And he's like, yeah, I can definitely do without this. Oh my God, there's just so many detestable individuals. But it's always so funny. It's always so funny, these laudable liberal rallies. Oh, we're for free speech. And to just come there and really intrude on everybody. But this will never be reported as an insurrection or anything like that, even though it fits the textbook definition. Because if we just go ahead and peep 2020, I'll go ahead and pull it up just for completion's sake. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, they seem to vote by a 2/3 margin for Republican values. And last time I checked, in 10 years' time, that might be totally different. The Republicans in current day aren't really all that keen on transitioning minors. It just doesn't really seem like one of their positions. Like even peak, you know, Tulsa is still 56%, you know, big up 16 points for T money. A little bit closer in Oklahoma City, but still Every single county in Oklahoma voted for Trump, voted Republican. Like Jim Inhofe, what, you guys couldn't get a better nominee in 2020? Anyways. But you think enforcing the will of about a few dozen, 100 people is somehow representative of Oklahoma? We are Oklahoma? No, you're Oklahomans. And your guys' policies lost by simply listening to your little pet project. That would be doing a great disservice to the rest of the people of Oklahoma who don't want you fiddling around with kids, you bunch of degenerates, because that's what this is. And is this supposed to be serious too? Because you got that weird ass, I don't know, progressive trans flag. I've also seen it with yellow and a circle. I don't even know what they're doing at this point. If you have to include everybody on your flag, realistically, you don't have to include anybody because it's just all one big disaster zone at this point in time. This is why these people are just so bungled in the head. It's weird. It's weird because I used to listen to a bunch of stuff on YouTube. Tangent, just personal aside for a second. I used to listen to quite a few intellectual, but political debates from, both sides of the aisle and whatever, and people discussing all of their ethereal positions. Jordan Peterson, Dave Rubin. Oh, what were some of the other channels I used to be subscribed to? But all of those types where they would just discuss all of these super high level concepts. And then when they'd go back and forth with a leftist or somebody who doesn't quite understand or doesn't quite adopt their position, just listening to the other side break down their stuff, it just sounds so laborious. One of the most appointed examples I've seen recently was a debate between Myron of Fresh and Fit and a couple of feminists that were on the late night show, the after hour show. It was quite a stark departure from just those ratchet 304s that were on the panel. And he had some so-called learned feminists that were on there, and they just are so miserable. Everything's a battle. Everything is oppression, and you can understand why they all just come there and they get their programming. Okay, here's what we're going to be chanting. Here's the signs you're going to be holding. Here are the flags that you're going to be carrying. They're all just weighed down because they all just think that they're victims. They're being oppressed, and that, by standing on this side of the aisle, you can recognize your oppression, your privilege, whatever else they're claiming at this point in time. I don't really care, man. I got better things to do than think about their talking points, because I look at them. They're not people that I'd want to emulate. They're not people that I'd want to hang around with. They're people that deal in the world of should. I would much rather live in the world of what is. They want to tear down gender, the social construct. They want to tell you that biological sex isn't real and it's not final. And anybody voicing the truth in this matter is somehow bigoted, and they're out there enacting violence and ending trans lives. No, just because you want to reinforce reality. There was a time, about a decade ago, where you didn't institutionalize and you didn't validate mental illness, because that's what this is. You can go back and you can listen to all of those chants that were going down. We are Oklahoma. There's no passion behind it. There's no engagement. These are just drone people, probably all hopped up on happy pills, genetically modified food. Given the fact that this is the middle of the day, it's not like they have any responsibilities. They don't have a job. It's like, I get it. You have your little pet project out there. Maybe you know a trans person or something like that. And if they're trans, hey man, that's fine. That's fine. You go ahead, and once you're of consenting age, you want to cut, tuck, stretch, or sew anything on your body, God willing, God bless. There's so many people that go under the knife every single day. If you want to include yourself among those ranks, totally go for it, man. But when it comes to kids, that predilection, the leftists that are out there, we also know what you guys are thinking about when it comes to kids and ages of consent. So why don't you just stay over there? Because we can also take a look at patterns and start to do some recognition and know that you don't necessarily have the best thing in mind for the kids at the end of the day. You're just trying to push an ideology. You're just trying to entrench it because, well, you can't really, thanks to your own decisions, you can't really procreate in order to create the next generation. So the next best thing is to indoctrinate and poison the minds of the next generation. That's why, private schools, take your kids out of schools, be in tune with a curriculum of what your children are learning so they don't fall into this trap. I'm not saying that trans kids don't exist. I'm not saying that gay kids don't exist. Those are things that's totally fine. But let's try to steer away from sexualizing children. I thought that was, well established, but Hey man, nothing's off the table. It's 2023 after all, and things are crazy. Trans activists protest in Oklahoma Capitol to stop bill against child sex change surgeries. Yeah, if that's what you're doing, and if that's the stance that you're taking, yeah, kind of have to stop and ask yourself if you're the good guys. Oklahoma legislatures were preparing to outlaw child sex change surgeries. Then hundreds, 100-ish. That's a couple dozen. Maybe there were some people outside that we didn't get to see. Trans activists protested inside the state capitol. The crowd had rallied against several bills that, if passed, would ban child transition. We are Oklahoma. We are Oklahoma. We... Yeah, that's nice. It chanted in footage uploaded to Twitter by local reporter Nick Camper. The crowd also chanted, "Trans lives matter," and "Protect trans kids," because trying to remember anything more than 3 words is a little bit too tough for these folks. The crowd, numbering about 150, yeah, I believe that based on the video that was there, carried pro-transgender signs. Pro-transgender propaganda, if we're going to be completely honest, with statements like, "We are not a threat, so stop making us a target." Yeah, you are. You're trying to go after the kids. It's absolutely predatory behavior. HRT saves lives. No, it doesn't. It ruins lives. You start injecting kids with hormone treatment, and Lord have mercy, there are detrimental effects that end up happening. HRT means hormone replacement therapy, where women inject testosterone and men inject estrogen to appear more like the opposite gender, and it has just such great effects at the end of the day. The chant echoed through the Capitol's rotunda while Oklahoma's state legislature debated. Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt has signed bills keeping men claiming to be women out of women's sports and requiring students to use bathrooms assigned to their sex. Currently, the Oklahoma legislature faces decisions on Senate Bill 250, Senate Bill 252, House Bill 1011, and Senate Bill 129. I just did some off-screen research when it comes to what the makeup of the legislature is, and it's even more lopsided than the previous election results that we looked at. Okay, you can take my word on it for a second, but I just looked it up. It's on Ballotpedia. It's very easy to find if you're so inclined, and if you want to fact check me or anything like that. But as of 2022, the Republican Party has 39 state senators in Oklahoma. Democratic Party, 9. That's an overwhelming majority, and that's what the Republican Party represents in the Senate. The House could be different, but shocker, it's not. The Republican Party, 82 members. 82 members in the House. Democratic Party, 19. At least, hey man, if they're going to be doing a holiday party, because God knows, saying that anything would be a Christmas party at the end of the year. If they want to go ahead and book anything for the Democratic Party, oh man, you wouldn't even have to rent out half of a Denny's in order to get everybody in there. Holy. Democratic policies aren't that popular in Oklahoma. Yo, peek what they're actually trying to do. They're trying to make it so kids aren't being attacked by this type of stuff. We know what's going on in the schools. There are a bunch of other bills that are in there to take all of that sexualized content out of the curriculum. How it got there in the first place? That's a good question, and one for another day. But the fact that it's finally been analyzed and removed, that is laudable in and of itself. And you're finally, for the first time in a very long time, you're starting to see Republicans do actions in accordance with their words, following up with campaign promises of protecting the children. Somebody is finally thinking of the children. And it's not the Democrats, because they're also thinking of the children, but they're doing it while licking their lips and rubbing their hands together. A bunch of weirdos. Like I said, there's multiple L's for the Rainbow Lobby to be taken here today, because, earlier today, one of the most damning things ended up happening. And that was the release of the most transphobic video game of all time. Listen, it's been a hot second since I've even bothered booting up a video game. I think I played a game of Civilization 6 last Christmas. This year I was making a computer. I had intentions of just playing a game real quick, but it's been, about, even since just sitting down and playing a full game. April of 2020 when the Final Fantasy VII Remake came out. Like, it's been a hot second, mostly because video gaming, in my opinion, is pretty much dead. There's very little innovation that's out there, but one of the most well-marketed games for very interesting reasons has been Hogwarts Legacy. Now, the name might sound a little bit familiar to you, even if you're not familiar with any of this stuff. It's a role-playing game set in the Harry Potter world right now. And, back when the movies and the books were popping, everybody wanted that. The video games under the Harry Potter license were always kind of hit and miss, mostly because of the technology. Because the only one that I do remember playing, and this is wild, this was the Saturday before the 2001 Super Bowl. Was that the one between the Rams and the Patriots? I remember it specifically. Or was that the Sunday? Because I was over visiting my friend, and his dad wanted to watch the game at the time, so we had to be off of the TV in the living room before the game started. And we played I'm pretty sure there's a PS2 game for Harry Potter. Regardless, that was the only one that I played, and it was fine. It was kind of a 3D platformer where you could just, it was kind of a rudimentary third-person shooter where you could kind of, flick a spell every once in a while. It was kind of ass in the grand scheme of things, but everybody wanted a video game where you could roleplay as a wizard, and now it's finally come out. But if you know the underlying context of why Harry Potter is so bad, is because big bad J.K. Rowling, in her opinions that men have penises, women have vagina, is literally killing trans people. That's why you're supposed to boycott Hogwarts Legacy. And it's like, well, is the game good or anything like that? No, it's literally ending trans lives. And hey man, it came out today, and a bunch of people are and aren't streaming it. And you got your boy, I can't believe we're going to have to listen to a Hasan clip, but not very much of it, because he just kind of, well, at least the person, Dextero, I've seen them clip up a bunch of stuff. They do a bunch of good work out there. At least clipping this stuff together and putting together a good list of stuff, at least when it comes to video gaming. It's something that I kind of keep a little bit of an eye to, because, it was a big part of me growing up. It's just been a hot second since I've peeked in, but they do a better job than IGN, GameSpot, and all of the different, video game outlets that are there. So shout out to them. But regardless, if you have, this isn't the full release of the game, by the way. It's supposed to come out on Friday. This is simply for the deluxe edition or something like that. You get it a few days earlier. It comes out last night in the United States. I think it was a midnight drop. It was something like that. But if you have the deluxe edition, you have full access to it right now, regardless. And a lot of people are streaming it. A lot of eyeballs are on it. But Hasan, just the upright and honest individual. I would say the biggest grifter on the internet, but we got another story here. The final video of the day that's going to encapsulate that. So he's definitely the biggest grifter on the left. I don't know if I would be confident in that. I'd have to go check my sources. But it's close enough, because instead of streaming the game, hopping in with so many other people on the platform, he was doing apparently doing a fundraiser or something like that. He was just going to do his same old stupid stream with a bunch of idiots in the chat, just posting a bunch of pepes. Like, just the most basic bitch, low frequency and zero value content. Watching Hasan is equivalent of sitting down for dinner and eating a loaf of Wonder Bread. You get absolutely no value out of it at all whatsoever. But every once in a while, in his infinite stupidity, he lets loose just a little nugget of truth. One of the nuggets that his mother has to cook for him, otherwise he would literally die, bro. But he lets slip, oh yeah, we'll be playing that. I bet you probably bought it and he's gonna be playing it in his off time, but I stream like 8 hours a day, so I die. He's an idiot. It's not worth it to get bullied endlessly. Hasan explains why some streamers, including him, are avoid playing Hogwarts Legacy, but yet still grifting off of it in some form or fashion. No, I'm gonna donate the $500,000 that I raised to a charity. I don't even know if it's going to one of those tranny ops, but hey man, whatever. We'll just hear a little bit of this. I won't subject you to the entire minute, because that'll make this video seem to be 10 million years longer. He's a very slow, inarticulate moron. Let's just call it what it is.
The only reason why I'm not playing this game, and I know a bunch of other people are not playing this game,
video games
is
are
because
hard.
we know that it's not worth it to get fucking bullied endlessly and called transphobic endlessly when we have massive queer communities and audiences. That's it.
Oh, so you're gonna let the minority of a minority in and of itself, the people who actively watch Hasan, which is kind of iffy in and of itself. But if he's actually giving that money to that Turkey-Syria earthquake fund, which I don't know how much money is actually going to be going directly to those people, because holy, some of those images and some of those videos that are coming out of that war zone and after that gigantic earthquake that hit there, yo man, at least you picked a decent charity where that's going. But if you're supposed to be boycotting a game that is literally transphobic and literally ending trans lives, Would you think it would be a little bit more appropriate to do that? But no. Your grift on top of all of that stuff is you can't criticize me because I'm literally from Turkey, bro. That's why I can criticize the United States of America, where I can make millions of dollars sitting on camera with my 80 IQ takes on everything, bro. But yeah, he also let slip. He's not the only one, and that's the reason why they're doing it, because having a spine and standing up for what you actually believe in, that's too tough, man. Can't be doing that, because you could take a look at his chat. It says people freaking out about this makes it more unsafe for us trans people. Yeah, there's some spurg in a in a Twitch, even worse than Twitter, in a Hasan Twitch chat, bro. How are people playing and enjoying a game that has been anticipated for a very long time? And a game that even, tried to bend a little bit, because video games are just, it's an infinitely woke endeavor at this point. Introduced a trans character to try to placate the other side, but they're still not buying it at all whatsoever. But yeah, man, he lets slip the truth. And this is the tolerant left, guys. Yesterday, a Twitch streamer was bullied by chat for playing the game to the point where his girlfriend was crying. Well, first of all, if you're gonna stop playing a game because your girlfriend's upset, yo, bro, you need to fix your frame problem. Why she cares that much, man, that's on you, dude. But yo, and then also setting up a blacklist. A site has also surfaced yesterday featuring a tracker to check if a streamer has played Hogwarts Legacy. Have they played that wizard game? But yeah, and just to wrap this thread up, some streamers have expressed that they are ready to boycott Twitch over their push of Hogwarts Legacy ads. Yeah, at the same time that they were going to be boycotting after they couldn't continue to steal content from Fox and anime companies. Yo, there were some idiots that were out there that were fully streaming complete seasons of anime. What was it? Stupid titties out for Pokimane there. She was streaming. Was she streaming all of Death Note, or was she streaming Naruto? Just full seasons of it and just nonstop. Not transforming it, not reviewing it, not doing anything, just playing it. And then all of a sudden, she catches a couple days ban. It's like, bro, streaming on Twitch, it's tough to get into the upper echelons. If you don't have connections, you're pretty much screwed, because the only way that they get, or content creators on Twitch ends up getting recommended, is if you're already in the top echelon. That's why everybody latches on to Hasan XQC. I don't even know who's up at the top over there, nor do I really care. If they also got tits, they can go pal around with Amaranth. That's why they all want to do collabs, because there is no organic growth on Twitch. You have to get it elsewhere in order to promote your Twitch. So as strange as it is, Hasan can literally be a tastemaker over on Twitch, but everybody with, this is going to be weird to say as well, somebody with reasonable organic thought on YouTube and Rumble and different social media platforms can at least control their own destiny to a certain extent. But even with this full press coverage, some people think that they're ready to boycott Twitch, and it's like, we've already heard about this stuff over and over and over again. Nobody really cares, bro, because guess what? If the top streamers aren't going to be streaming it, but then at the same time you get responses like this, 1 million people on Twitch watching Hogwarts Legacy right now, bro, you are not going to be able to overshadow that. It doesn't matter if all of the big guys go dark on this, people are still watching that stuff. Thousands of people are watching it. One person pops off, they're super entertaining. You just created a superstar overnight just because of your super righteous stance on things. Yo, man, these tranny advocates that are going after kids, bro, you're not the good guys, and you guys just keep on taking L's. You do love to see it, though. So yeah, you continue to spurg out. It makes for an easy video whenever you guys do that. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.